everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I created Magic and Miracles so that I can be of service to help people all around the world really understand manifestation and how really it's easy. It's not easy, but it's simple, I should say, once you understand all the principles and how you really understand how to maneuver your own energy. And for the YouTube audience, 3 years ago, joining the forces of other coaches, unbeknownst to me, I created what's called a signature coaching program, and it is unlike anything that is available on the market simply because it does work. All right, because it does its due diligence. It's a deep dive. First, we cover your history, we process all the emotions, all of the leftover junk in the middle of your living room, as I like to say, so that you can have lovely new guests over as a metaphor, so that you can invite your SP back, so that you can have a new one, so that you can have that promotion, whatever it is that you're working on. I don't just coach in SPs. And then and only then I cover manifestation with you. I teach you the energy work, and you'd be ever so wise to take the energy, the signature energy course. Right now it's in motion. So sign up. Right now it's at 1050. Come August 20th, it's going to be 1250. Okay, because it's an enormous amount of information of how to actually be a magician in your world completely. So the energy work in the way that I teach it, nobody teaches. I've done my research, and this is why I can speak with such confidence. So I give you all the tools, all the so-called techniques, all the ways that you can really start manifesting on another level, like really transforming your life, revolutionizing your life, never thinking of yourself as this little person. All right. So to be in my coaching, you need to book a 1 hour session first. In the session, we discuss what are the issues, what you're currently working on. Like I said, I coach not only in SPs, but you name it, career. I mean, the truth is the signature coaching program covers all areas of your life. But whatever it is you need to work on, we cover it in the first session. And I do give you feedback. I never, just hear you out and give you a few things. I definitely give you some gold nuggets that you can take home and cash it in. And really, if you apply what I give you in the very first session, you will succeed. But upon conclusion of that session, if we both decide to move forward, then you're expected to book the package to put yourself in my coaching. So the reason that's important is because there's only that many spots in my coaching. So sometimes there will be a wait, okay, to get in. Sometimes you can join right away in that sense, or start right away. You can, pre-book. You should, is what the conversation is. But sometimes there may be a delay to start because I do want to do a good job with every single individual in my coaching, and I don't want to take on too many clients. So this is why, I do it like I treat it as you and every single one of my clients as a Rolls Royce. Whether you will take advantage of that treatment, that is entirely your choice. Now, the book club augmented to 99, still a really, really affordable, I should say, um, proposition, in that it has become what I started referring to it as a mini pocket coach package. So these are audios, just to reiterate for those who are new, and please subscribe and hit the thumbs up button. You will learn a lot in this live once I get into it. But for $99, essentially, you get 12 audios, 12 coaching audios. What I used to record for my channel, I just wasn't comfortable enough to open up more and channel more because of the recent developments. And most importantly, I want to protect my new material for my new book. Okay, so you'll be privy to all of this information. So with that freedom, I do slip in certain things that I discuss in coaching one-on-one, because essentially you're in coaching. Okay, for $99, that's the entry level coaching. And so that does not include, any kind of sessions with me, obviously, I think it's obvious. You can suggest topics in the book club. And you can also ask a question, just one question, how would I go about blah, 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 or something to that effect. That's a really great package, if you ask me. Okay, so there are other coaching packages depending on your comfort level. There's text-based coaching package, there's audio exchange coaching package, and there is one-on-one in Zoom sessions or in phone calls. So whatever your level of comfort, most people prefer one-on-one. Okay, and I understand why, because you get more out of it in that sense. All right, but some I've met plenty of people in the 3 years on YouTube that they definitely preferred just phone calls only in some cases, or audios only. So whatever it is that is your preference, go with that. But first session is a mandatory one. I just want to definitely underline that 300 million times. So if you have any questions about any of what I just said, you can email me. The emails are below. Okay, so today's topic is how to make the third party bitch be gone. Funny title. Okay, so you've manifested yourself a third party. And now it's kind of like maybe your self-esteem plummeted even further. Maybe you're mad at yourself, maybe you're mad at your SP, maybe you're mad at the world. I don't know your story, your story. But the fact is that, people truly come into our experience to teach us some things. And it is not kind of like, this is not, this didn't happen because you're a bad person. This didn't happen because you're less attractive. This didn't happen because you're less intelligent or anything like that. It's an energy game, the situation. So before this person even showed up, there was a pre-pavement for this manifestation. And if I ask you in session, hey, what did you kind of fear right before this manifested? Or what were your insecurities as far as your own self-esteem goes before this manifested? And even though it's unpleasant to admit to those things, I guarantee you that you will come up with a story, if you're honest with yourself and with me in coaching, that directly got projected, essentially, and this person has very little to do with it. You've manifested this very third party, she or he is not responsible. They didn't just like take it upon themselves and show up in your reality. All right. So, how that gives you comfort is that you're so powerful, you can manifest this person. So, in the same manner, okay, but reverse engineering your effort in the past, the prepavement of it, you can just as well get rid of this third party. And if you really diligent, and I'll give you some things today, but reality is it's based on your own fears and your own specific insecurities. Okay, but there's some things that you could try, and it's not as difficult as people may, make it look like to be, or make it out to be, because there's so much energy around this. This is the number one kind of like, I'm going to give you the synopsis. You're not competing with anybody but yourself. I think you should really download this truth, that you think that you are, that you think that somebody can come and take away your happiness, that somebody can intrude upon your personal life. And it's a very intimate situation, that some third party can show up and take something away from you. So you're placing energetically the power on that person. Don't worry if that person, if you don't get rid of that fear or insecurity that solely has to do with you. Maybe you have insecurities about the way you look. Maybe you have insecurities about whatever. I don't know. I mean, each person is different again. And with each different person, it varies. Okay. But if you don't take care of that, like, don't worry in that sense, mockingly speaking, you'll get that third party will leave, another one will show up, and they will continue showing up until you really understand what the problem is. The problem is, you're really scared that somebody's going to come and wreak havoc on your relationship. And why are you scared? Because your story says, I'm inadequate in this way and that way. You're kind of like inviting this third party, in a sense. Third party, come on over here and fuck with me. kind of situation. Now, listen, we've all done these things, and I've manifested third parties like way back when. I mean, 15 years ago. But I have to say to you that it was never a surprise. In my case, anyway. And if you're really honest with yourself about what you were putting out, like right before, were you really, really scared that you were going to get replaced? Where is this fear coming from? From not being good enough. And I tell you, like, 10 times out of 10, the story that you're not good enough comes not from specifically this relationship you're in, but comes from a lot earlier, which is why the deep dive is so necessary. Somebody like really, really, really early on, okay, like for example, why did I start out with relationships that kind of like sort of all ended up in third parties? Now that I think of, like, before I turned to 29, 30, they all ended up in third party situations. Like, I already expected it. That was my situation, because early on my mother, not for nothing, but convinced me I was worthless. So it was kind of like underneath it all, I expected to be replaced. And I come I used to come, I should say, with my own list of insecurities and fears, but the fact is, it wasn't a surprise. It's not necessarily a surprise, nor is it an attack, but that you're energetically saying loud and clear to the universe, somebody else is better than me, I'm not that desirable. Watch, somebody else is going to manifest. You might not be saying it in words verbally, but you're saying it energetically to the universe. Okay. And like clockwork, this person appears over and over. So what fears did you have? What insecurities? And the third question I'd like for you to ask yourself today is, how is my relationship with the universe? Do I trust the universe? Do I trust the universal guidance? Do I trust that this is for my benefit, that this is not to punish me? This is not to say I'm less than, they're better because they're chosen. No, no, this is my fucking orchestration. This is my orchestration. Even this third party is my orchestration. You know how much better you will start feeling about the situation? At least I hope so. Because now it doesn't seem like an attack, like some unknown attack coming at you from out of nowhere. You can trace back every single manifestation. And like I said, like I've been there in romantic relationships, third party showing up. At that time, like when I was in my 20s, mid 20s, like I couldn't put it into words like these, but internally, like I knew it was the doom was coming, and here was the doom kind of situation. All right. So what are the things that you can do? Understand, energetically you need to shift to another timeline, to a timeline where you're not threatened by anybody. You're not threatened by anybody at all. In your book, for yourself, for your mind, you have to become the one and only for this person. You have to become the one and only, period. For any guy or girl, like if you meet a guy or girl from this point forward, you are not expecting interference. You're not expecting somebody else to take your place. Okay, so energetically, you need to disempower the situation first, unlink yourself energetically from, like, they are more powerful over there because they have significance. They're significant enough for this person to up and leave me or cheat on me or this, that, and the other. It is not. You're giving it significance. And so it comes once you disempower it and you no longer energetically can relate to it as something significant. It is so insignificant, like yesterday's newspaper. Like, please, this person has nothing on me. I'm not worried. I don't feel defeated or I don't feel abandoned. This was a misunderstanding that from my mama drama panorama I've constructed. But in reality, you're faced with your own fear in the form of a person. That's basically it. Excuse me, let me just take a sip of my tea. They're not that scary. Stop making them out to look so scary. And parenthesis here, I did this for myself when I was about to leave my ex-drug addict boyfriend, who was, oh my god, third party galore, it's like too many to count. And the last girl was really nice, happened to be very nice, and she opened up, first of all, she opened up my eyes, like, just how much he was cheating on me. I wasn't aware. I knew some, kind of like the things that I was finding out in his phone and stuff. But it was like I didn't have the big picture. But she was nice enough to say, you know what? You're too good for this. What are you doing here? Go do your shit, etc. And to me, like a third party who like she literally was there was when I was in there and I was not aware and I was living with this person. Okay. Talk about a mind fuck. Um, but she was nice enough to tell me, and because she was so nice, that kind of healed that within me, because I didn't glorify the third parties anymore. I saw her as a person, as another confused person. She had her own issues, obviously, to end up in a situation like that. But I demystified it for myself. So here's some things that you can do practically. Okay, the energetic work, the detachment energetically, we're going to have to do this in coaching one-on-one. But there's some things that you could do yourself on a daily basis to energetically shift. Number one, as I always advise my clients, there needs to be a morning routine. If you don't have a morning routine right now, you ought to have one. And again, I walk you through this in detail in my energy course. You really ought to, like, if you're not signed up right now, I don't know what you're doing. It's the most powerful of courses and really, really underpriced. There's like 15 audios in this course that walks you through every single possible circumstance that you could be faced with, and it has magic spells in it and lots of other good things. You can go watch the separate live. I specifically created for it so that, it answers all the questions and goes through all the chapters. But the first thing would be to meditate. And the first thing in the morning would be to come up with new decisions. Okay. This is the day when I'm making the change. And do this every single day. I myself, in the morning, no matter what it is I'm working on, I need to connect to my divine power. I need to connect to my higher self. Okay. And feel this overwhelming support that the higher self, the angels, the divinity, the whatever you want to call it, God, universe, that the unwavering, completely overwhelming support that the universe has for you. Like, if I don't know how to describe it in words, I think you arrive to it through meditation, and you really can feel this power that you're one with, that throughout the day you really just kind of like forget about, truth be told, because of the theater can get really busy. Like the other day I was passing by, Devil Wears Prada #2 is being shot right now on Upper East Side, and all the decorations, and it's, you've been on a movie set, I'm sure, some of you at least. It's crazy. For one scene setup, it's like a thousands and thousands of people around. Okay. So don't get sidetracked with the theater. Focus on your divine power. And what is the scene here at hand today? Kind of deal. Okay. What are the things that I'm planting, so to speak? This is what the meditation is for. This is the beginning of your quantum leap, the shifting of energy into another timeline where, quite frankly, this third party is a non-event. Is a non-event. You made it an event. Just I want you to really understand and grasp it. And listen, my heart goes out to you in these kinds of things. I know I'm known for me being blunt, but in these scenarios, I'm ever so gentle because I know how hard it is. I've been there. It's devastating, for your human mind to, like, maybe you don't have your self-esteem together in to begin with, and now this third party shows up kind of to drive it in even further. So I understand, but you have to start with your own decisions. Which timeline do I want to end up in? And this is practically your decision. Now, remember one thing, that you cannot cause harm to other people. You cannot cause harm to other people. Not because I'm depriving you of it, or not because it isn't being done all the time, or one cannot do it. I mean, you could do it, is the point. But at what price? At really just breaking down your own life. So don't wish upon anybody, and don't, in whatever shape or form it comes, even anger, even resentment, continuous feeding of resentment towards this person is only going to disempower you. Okay. You are being part of a different timeline, and you're sulking in it and you're devouring it. It doesn't do any good. And trust me, that person is not affected because, truth be told, everybody is protected divinely. Okay. You really, you don't have that right to affect somebody negatively. Okay, unless they invite that in themselves. Okay, if they connect on that frequency, then it's like that's what free will is. So you can make happen anything, and your decisions really need to kind of abide by the laws of the universe, right? The golden rule, as Neville used to say, if we're talking about Neville, don't do unto others that you don't want done to you. So simple. All you want for this person is to leave town, like metaphorically speaking, to go the fuck away. Guys, thumb up the video so that the algorithm gets a kick in the ass. So there's no need to do anything bad to this person. Whatever your issues are with this person, you need to work on that yourself. That this person triggers something within you, some kind of a jealousy, some kind of competition, maybe even comparison, and this, that, and the other. That's your shit, darling. That's your shit. This is your responsibility. That person is not responsible for it at all. You can't hang it on them. And I understand for the human mind, it could be very difficult, and I'm very sympathetic. But your jealousy and your, you know, perhaps if it's jealousy or feeling inferior, it comes entirely from the way that you think about yourself. And so maybe, but just maybe, this third person, third party showed up to remind you, hey, you know something? Kind of like, metaphysically and vibrationally speaking, they're reminding you, you fell off the wagon, darling. This is why. But don't blame yourself and don't blame me. Just learn from the situation and, decide something else. And so the decision needs to appear and contemplate it, whether that's, obviously they're dropping them. Okay. But I want you to exercise your power to such a degree where it's not just that they are dropping the third party. I mean, yeah, of course, going into this live, we assume that that's what you want. But what I truly want you to have as this experience unfolds and concludes, okay, as a theater production in your world, how do I not manifest this again? Okay, because who, again, like I said, who cares if you unmanifest them one time if they keep showing up? All right. So here's the suggestions. Feel the overwhelming support from the universe. Meditate for at least 5-10 minutes. All right. I know people are busy and this and that and the other, but align with your version of timeline. Your decision needs to stick. Okay. What is your decision? I want this third party gone in a very effortless, benevolent way. Nothing needs to happen bad to this person, but maybe it can be so effortless as my SP just changes his or her mind. Or even better, the third party changes their mind. However you want to play it. Both, whatever. Because the idea is that you've instructed both of these people to act on your thoughts in the first place. So now it becomes so easy, can't you see? You've instructed them one thing, switch out the dialogue, switch out the script. I know it sounds easier said than done, but if you make a commitment in the morning to decide, okay, how is the situation changing right now? As I'm thinking this something, I want them to separate, or I want him to drop her, or whatever the situation is. I want him to apologize to me. As I'm thinking these thoughts are going out into the ethers and they're being planted in these two people's minds, let's just say. They don't belong together. Okay. Now, you're not calling them up, you're not stalking them. Okay. You're not being one of these people. All right. You're not even looking at their social media. The only thing that you're doing is you're doing it mentally. So the thought transmission can go out differently this time. I'm choosing this reality where my SP decides to drop this person. But it has to like connect with you. It has to connect in your mind. Yes, this is possible because X, Y, and Z. And it could be many things. Again, all is mental, but it could be many things in your specific situation. And there's no shame in the beginning, when you're shoehorning yourself into this pattern of thinking, to temporarily compare yourself with the third party. I'll give you that. Okay. It's not the healthiest of things to stay with, but temporarily compare yourself as you're shoehorning yourself to making them insignificant. Okay. Temporarily say, well, let's look on the paper. Okay. Why am I so insecure? I am a beautiful person. You could say, I don't know. I make a great apple pie. I'm in shape. I'm this, that, any other, whatever your qualities are that you really adore about yourself. Sorry for the background noise. And suddenly realizing, well, listen, wait a minute. I'm actually, in some ways, I'm better than the third party. There's no shame in kind of like supporting yourself, being your own number one fan. The sirens. Sorry, guys. Let it pass through. So, hold on one second. Where is this in my notes? I went ahead, but that's okay. I'm jumping around. Um, there's no shame in comparing in that sense on the way to shoehorning your mind to saying this has nothing. This is not a competition. I'm a different person. I have different things to offer. This is not about a competition. This is not a beauty pageant. Okay, you could say this is just an energy game, and I've allowed myself to descend to not being confident, being insecure, and this person showed up. So you start with the thought transmission, with the decision. They don't want to be together anymore. You could place it like that. Or he doesn't want to be with her anymore. Or she doesn't want to be with him anymore. And then you place, well, they would prefer me. Okay. They're realizing what a mistake this has been. They're realizing that they have more in resonance with me. They're realizing that, yes, indeed, I have all these qualities. And in coaching, we go through a major boost of confidence that you really really ought to have and need. Okay, you're not people who come into my coaching, they're not like everybody else. I just want to say you're already not like everybody else. And whatever the resonance is between me and my clients, I just want to say, yeah, I don't care about other coaches or whatever they're doing. But me personally, the experience I've had on YouTube is superb with the clients. Like once or twice, there were whatever problems, shall we say. But 99% of people are just absolutely fabulous. And you should know that. I really mean it. And sometimes I say it in coaching to my clients, and they're really shy, of course, because people pleasers don't accept compliments very well. But you should really like kiss yourself on both cheeks and be like, I'm fantastic. I had nothing to worry about. It's an energy game. So, thought transmission. And then energetically making them insignificant. Just place your memory. Let's just play a game and place your memory in time where you thought something was a problem, not necessarily connected with your third party, let's just say, but something that like seemed like it was impossible and never ending. And then at some point it ended, like everything does. Okay. At some point, you're manifesting an ending to an unpleasant situation. And looking back at it, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of also talking about me. Looking back at it, you looked at it like, holy shit, bananas. I wish that I wasn't so worried because it wasn't such a big deal. I made a big deal out of it energetically and in my thought form, but in reality, it wasn't such a big deal at all. Okay, it was a non event. If I just stepped away from worrying about it so much and really making it bigger than it should have been, it would have ended sooner. So you see how, like, the third party in herself or himself, they themselves operate off of your energy. They exist because you're feeding them fucking worry and energy, and so they continue being there. So energetically making them a non-issue, like remembering that problem that once was this never-ending problem, and now it's not a problem anymore. And that feeling of fuck, I can't believe I was ever worried because it was never a fucking problem. Introduce that feeling now. Introduce that feeling of this is not a big deal. I made it a big deal because I had my own insecurities. In a nutshell, this is what is happening in my coaching. It's not a matter of a one day situation. You need some time to recalibrate and rethink the whole thing, because in a situation like this, most people blame themselves. And if you're a people pleaser, most certainly you're blaming yourself for the situation and trying to find out what is wrong. There's nothing really wrong. There's an energetic attachment to some kind of inadequacy. Okay, you're telling something to yourself about yourself, so programmed, so effortless. You're just going into the day, which is why stopping in the morning, reconsidering your program towards the situation is really a magical trick, if you want to, because a different decision is being made. So, energetically making them insignificant and demystifying their presence in your world, I have invited this third party to show me something. This is my theater. This is my movie. Okay. And they showed up because of me. I'm not mystified by this fucking situation. I'm not intimidated. I know exactly what I have to do. I'm the golden motherfucking Buddha. That's it. When you treat the situation in white gloves like this, you don't get affected emotion. Of course, it's easier said than done, as I've said, but this is the perspective from which to operate. And you tell them, and here I even wrote it down and I want to read it to you. And this is how I coach in my coaching. And again, easier said than done. I'm with you on that. You can tell the third party as you're meditating in your meditation, and again, take the energy course. You learn so much how to disengage from a third party, or however you want to say it, to make them poof be gone. You can tell them, thank you. Thank you for showing up. Like literally, I want you to come to the spot where you can literally thank them and mean it genuinely. Like, thank you so much. Thank you so much for showing up. Listen, every single person who tried to fuck with me, who did something bad against me, I always, at the end, listen, I'm a human being, all right? The first reaction is obviously anger, okay? But then I contemplate, okay, what can I learn from this? And how can I come to this place of thank you? Gratitude for the experience, okay? Because if you're negating this experience, like I said, there's high chance that it's going to show up again. Just take control, get behind the wheel of your life, as it were. So you could tell them, thank you, I've learned my lesson, thank you for showing up and clearly demonstrating to me my power. It's not that they're empowered over your life, you have the fucking power. You've had the power all along. Like Wizard of Oz. And this person is simply reminding, not taking your power away from you, but in fact reminding you who's in charge here. You, my darling, you. Okay? Thank you for clearly demonstrating to me my power. You've served your purpose. You can go now. Okay? You've served your purpose. You can go now. Just like that. Just like that. Oof, goosebumps. Goosebumps galore. All right. That's what you do. But to come to this place, and this person, the third party, he or she will feel sudden change. Of course, there's no change, it's another timeline. But in this timeline, let's just go with the human mind, there will be a change in the atmosphere because you've just detached from the mama drama panorama. You invalidate this situation as a drama. You're the labeler of the situations, and the label that you put on it will reflect the kind of scenario that will, evolve after this situation, after this decision, after this change of mind. Okay, so you've now, you the power generator of this situation, you've just cut loose the power that this third party needed to exist in your reality. You no longer give a shit, plainly speaking. You don't care. It doesn't affect your self esteem. You are bothered because it affects your self esteem, plainly put, yet again. Because you think they're more beautiful than me, they're more handsome than me, they make more money than me, blah, blah, blah. This is why but when you realize, no, they have nothing on me. And in God, again, I'm speaking from experience, not here to flatter anybody. Trust me when I tell you, in most cases, you're a far better catch than this fucking third party many times over. And you're the one insecure? Come on now. So you never had to worry about anything, but you did and you worked it out. But now that you've energetically detached, there's no more drama. That person, the third party, will start having other ideas than to stay with your person. Okay. And again, parenthesis here, I'm going only on the assumption that you genuinely love this person, that this is not like for kicks, that this is not just like a game for you. If you don't care about this person and really, maybe the third party is a better match for them, it's a different scenario. It could be different scenarios altogether. Another scenario that comes to mind, not for nothing, and I actually thought about whether I should talk about this in live, but I think another scenario could be like one from my life where, somebody left me for a third party, or, yeah, had another third party and then later came back to kind of ask for forgiveness. But when I looked at the third party, I was like, you know what? We don't have the same standards. I think you should leave now. Very telling who you would prefer. So it could be also eye-opening, that like this is not my standard. You're on another level. I'm on another level. Right? So it could be like this. But nevertheless, this third party represents something. It's a good thing that this happened. Trust me when I tell you. So energetically saying goodbye to them, disengaging, disempowering the situation completely. Again, provided you really love this person and you really in your heart believe that this is divinely guided. Okay, there's a video, parenthesis here on my channel, that discusses this. How do you know it's divinely guided? It goes into depths. You can look for it. I don't ever link things. I don't have time like that. I'm so sorry. It's enough that I mastered technology in the last 6 months somewhat to go live like this, okay? Anyway, excuse me. I consider that, an achievement in my book. Next step that could help you, another thing that could help you, and maybe it's a consecutive step, flipping the script. Okay. So, right now in your mind, the way that the situation is positioned, that somehow the third party is more desirable than you. And I already kind of touched on it. In your mind, flipping the script and actually declaring energetically, and this again, not for nothing, but I teach in the energy course, making yourself as the only one energetically. You may not be the only one right now physically, but if you want to start affecting the 3D, because everything happens in thought form and energetically, okay, before it ever shows up in the 3D, this is your chance to turn the shit around, energetically flipping the script of, I am more wanted than the third party, let's just say. And again, I've touched on it where you can shoehorn your mind as a first stage of getting over this intimidation by the third party. Just compare notes. What does she have on me, or what does he have on me? Absolutely nothing. You're a different person. Okay? You will arrive to this conclusion. They have nothing on you. And again, in most cases, you're better. You're better evolved. You're into manifestation. You're doing this work. You're taking care of shit. You know how many people don't do anything? Okay. So making yourself the only one energetically and placing thus the attention, the arrows of energy on yourself. Okay. You're no longer thinking that they're better, plainly put. You think that you're the hot shot. The other way around is what got you in this mess in the first fucking place. I don't care if you don't have any money right now. I don't care if whatever the situation is, you can start flipping the script in your mind. She wants me just the way I am with no fucking money. He wants me just the way I am with all my faults and all. It's just energetically, I'm becoming more attractive to me. I'm deciding, I'm making this first step into this timeline of following through on my decision. And God damn it, I'm more important. Not like, give me mine before somebody gets theirs. No, I'm flipping the script. In my mind, the shift had just occurred. I'm deciding that I'm more powerful. This is my reality. And I'm the only one this person will ever want. Just like that. If you can feel into it and stay in this vibration, really ruminate and really find evidence showing up in your day, okay, in the weeks to come or whatever, when as you're doing this exercise, that yes, you're indeed wanted by this person. This person will completely do a 180. Complete, provided they were not abusive to you. Always have to squeeze that in. Will do a 180 and they will beg you, like with tears in their eyes, simply because you flipped the script on going nowhere, harassing nobody, not spying on anybody on their social media, just peacefully reconsidering what you want to think. You know how powerful that shit is? It's the most powerful thing. Completely. So flipping the script mentally, internally, making yourself way more desirable, making yourself the only one, and there's many ways to do it for you specifically. Okay, again, it goes case by case. Excuse me. Okay, disempowering the drama, and in fact coming to a place where, and this is the final stage, this is where you know you've completely detached from it, when you can laugh about it. Okay, before your SP even returns, if you can laugh about this shit, you've got it made, babe. Okay. First, you're grateful for the experience, then you can laugh about it. It could be still going on, but you're already in another timeline mentally. You already decided, yeah, this happened because X, Y, and Z, my energy, blue, blah, blue. But now I've decided, and I'm like, it's in stone. I've decided that this person is coming back. We're getting married. I have nothing to worry about. It's a done deal. It's dusted. This third party, thank you so much. And now I can laugh about it. It took a whole person to bring us back together. Ha 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 ha. I don't know your situation. You know your situation. So you will come up with something that, you know what? Yeah, looking back, it will be funny. Looking back, everything is fucking funny. Okay, this is how stand up was born. Excuse me. So thirsty. Another thing you could try, and you should, making a prediction lightheartedly. This is my favorite. This is how I personally excel and how I teach people. When you disengage from the jealousy and the mama drama panorama, your aura is so much clearer. It frees up. It frees up from insecurities and fears, all these like really toxic energies. And now you're free to play. You will feel your air rarefied. You will feel like on another timeline, literally. You will feel like everything is easy, everything is clear. There's no resentment anymore. You're totally like flying on a magic carpet, like Aladdin. Totally. And then you're making lighthearted predictions, like, and some people call it affirmations or declaration. I like declarations personally, but some people call it affirmations. The fact is, you have to work your way up to it, your mind up to it, not just repeat it 10,000 times. Whereas one time you say this and it comes true, maybe twice at the most. Okay. And some people call it magic. It's not magic, it's universal law. As a for instance, I'm going to give you some examples. I bet he or she is going to come back begging me, crying. Another one, oh man, I already see these desperate begging texts. Like, make it an inconvenience, I had this client one time who, um wasn't asked out enough and wasn't, receiving the attention of the opposite sex. And I told her, well, just pretend like it's the other way around. Just go in the other opposite direction and say, oh my God, I missed out so much. Like, there's not enough time for me now to enjoy myself. Just play with your mind any which way it will accept, even if it's in a negative, like, I don't have enough time for myself, is could seem like it's a negative situation. But however your mind gets shoehorned into feeling that this is reality somewhere, and this is a reality for you that could happen to you, do it. Okay, so it's the way you phrase it. Oh my God, I can already see these begging tags. Here we go. Don't you know? Kind of deal. All right. Play with your mind. Don't just emptily affirm something that works for somebody else. It could work for somebody else. That's wonderful. But you have an entirely different mind with all its own different intricacies. Completely different mind. So I don't believe it has to be custom made. Your pronouncements have to be custom made. So speaking it into existence. Another one may be general statements. Again, not affirmations. When your energy is clear, you literally need to only say it a couple of times and write it down somewhere where you can look at it and energetically, I believe, obviously, I believe everything is made of energy. This card is made of energy and constantly vibrates this energy. It's weird how these things happen. You can write something down like, this is a decision, essentially. It's not just an affirmation, it's a declaration over your life. All right. It's a lot more powerful when you really understand what you're doing. Every man, every woman I want is effortlessly magnetized to me. They only want me. How you like me now? This, for me, I did this for myself because I wanted to be in charge and I didn't want to, like, oh, whoever will pick me. That used to be me. Whoever will choose me, that's good enough for me. I mean, I didn't say it like that, but the reality was that, yeah. Okay. But twist it all around. And again, depending on the situation, like I said, maybe this guy or girl isn't even the guy or girl for you. Maybe this is why the third party showed up. But I'm going on the assumption that you're just insecure. 99% of my clients, that they're in that position. They just got insecure, got fearful. Nothing's wrong with the guy, nothing's wrong with the girl. They just, it's an energy game. And they got repelled by this lack of confidence. And so it's a declaration. Every man or every woman I want is effortlessly magnetized to me. I don't have to do shit, in other words. If I react to something negatively, it's my job. So, as a for instance, the third party shows up, let's just say, okay, and whatever, you take it as a negative. You've just reacted and placed yourself in that timeline. If the sooner you can turn the ship around and not react anymore, the sooner this third party will go. Just like that, I just gave it to you. There you go. 46 minutes and 46 seconds of live. That's going to be a really short. Oh my God, too funny. Crack myself up all the time. Now listen, declarations are wonderful, but I myself am a believer of taking action in 3D to support your new timeline. Okay. So, which means, as discussed previously, you don't go spying on social media. You don't go worrying. You make your meditation, your morning routine a must. You make your energetic cleansing. Okay. And again, I take you through in that, not to be like a parrot. Okay. But truly, the new energy course is mesmerizing, if I do say so myself, simply because I know the kind of energy I imbued it with. And you bet your ass I do energy work on my energy courses, but this one in particular is mega. It's just mega. I can't wait for you to have it. Seriously. Um you need to support your decisions with the 3D action. So if it's something that, like, let's just even say you're insecure about, go do something about it. It could be minor, okay? Don't get a facelift. I'm not talking about that, okay? Not something drastic. But maybe, I don't know, some people tell me in coaching, all right, my insecurity is that I'm a little overweight. Okay, fine. What? Go do something about it. Do you feel so much better about yourself already? My insecurity is that whatever, I don't have nice clothes. Okay, go shopping for these clothes. Even if you don't buy like a bunch of clothes, buy a few but good ones. Just upgrade yourself in these small, effective, very effective ways. Getting a little, like, this is the reason I'm talking about makeup all day long, because personally, it always elevated my mood when I was a model in New York and I could afford absolutely nothing but a really expensive lipstick. That's what I went and got sometimes. And I felt on top of the fucking world. I felt like a billionaire. So here's my Prada lipstick. Thank you very much. And to reapply it. I can't get enough of this lipstick. I'm gonna go buy a couple more. Oh, and another one I really wanted to plug really quick. This situation, can you guys see it? Makeup by Mario. It's these, like, I'm wearing the it's a cream eyeshadow. It's so cute. It's heat resistant, which is nice. Right now it's very hot in Manhattan, but it has lovely colors. I really like this taupe situation, and you just do it with your fingers. At least I did it that way, and it works quite well. So anyway, so that's that. So in these kinds of situations, just feel more like a woman, feel more like a man. Do something that, like, literally, it's not for your ego, but it's for the elevation of your self-esteem. Okay? Because some things, they always can be better. It's not that, but whatever you can do to make yourself more desirable, more sexy, more, you know what you need to do. Okay, again, I'm not talking about getting a facelift necessarily. Okay, it's something that I don't know what you like, whatever you're into. As if another example I'm going to give you, okay, from my personal life, since we're talking about makeup and stuff. Like, I've just designed my own smoothie slash dessert, if you will, that is heaven. To me it is. Okay, so it's cooked oatmeal with some boiled chickpeas, cinnamon, nutmeg, dates, and that's it. Yeah, and dates. Blend that in a blender. Holy shit, bananas! I cannot get enough of eating it. I just, it's amazing. It really is amazing. So things like that, and it's, protein, and a lot of protein, and good for you, and blah blah blah. Things like that, that elevate your mood, doing these things for yourself, feeling like that special person, treating yourself like that special person. Whereas before, I don't know, you would think twice before buying a Prada lipstick. Let's just use it as an example. You would think twice before buying something nice for yourself, because that's out of the ordinary. But the way that you treat yourself, the universe will treat you that way as well, and other people in it. And when you treat yourself in this way, you feel like that special person. You will be that special person to everybody, to every guy. Like, as a for instance, ladies, and I meant to say this to you, it's not because I'm a fashion designer as well or anything like that. But if you just, single ladies out there, or just, ladies in waiting to drop the third party, okay? There's so many things that you can do just on a daily basis, just putting yourself together, okay? Wherever you go, whether that's just going, I don't know, walking, or going shopping, just put your makeup together, put yourself well together. Guys, same thing. You will feel like a brand new person. Okay? Don't just walk around in shorts and t-shirt like everybody else. Like, make an effort. People see that. People notice that all the time. And even if you're not running into your SP or nothing, you just feel like a different person. You feel like special, more important. Put on your best outfit, put on your, favorite makeup, your hair, dupatu, and everybody's looking at you because you're like, honestly, I meant to say this, not a lot of people do this. You will stand out of the crowd just because you feel energetically like that person, like that special person. You will be so fucking magnetic. You'll thank me later. All right, any questions? 52 minutes into it. So the last point was upgrade yourself any which way you can make yourself feel better. Okay. Let me check my notes. Oh, this is one of the declarations I wanted to share. Very powerful. When you're meditating in the morning, you could say to yourself, I am the gravitational pull. I am the Can I speak today? I am the wormhole. I am the gravitational pull. I am the wormhole, meaning like everything is being attracted to me. I'm no longer outwardly positioned. I'm no longer worried about the fucking third party. I'm no longer worried about any fucking circumstance I'm going through right now. It's all about me. Oh shit, I forgot to check with me. It's all about me. This situation presented itself for me to learn from this and become a better version of yourself. Listen, when you learn how to untwist your mind from being in the state of a worry, anger, resentment, and jealousy, and you purely squarely just focus on how do I feel? That's all that matters. How do I feel? This is the prognosis of my reality. That's all that matters. So who gives a shit how many third parties show up? In order to reconstruct the situation, I must begin with myself. If I have myself in check, if I value myself, if I love myself, if I'm secure and I'm powerful and strong, and I'm fearless, nothing and nobody can touch me. And then the situation completely mirrors that perfect self-esteem, perfect confidence. The end. All right. All right, guys. So all the information is below. Please don't forget, okay, for the book club, um, you do need to sign the coaching agreement by hand. You need to print, even if you've been in my coaching. I meant to say this. Um, you need to print the new coaching agreement. There's some verbiage that I changed. Just want to have everybody needs to do it. So I just want to have a kind of like a clean slate, so to speak. Please print that. Please sign it by hand and then send it as an attachment. It's just mandatory. And like I said, it's something that I feel like everybody must have. Again, I can't stress enough and can't reiterate enough. I feel a lot more peaceful in the setting, and I feel like I will keep this. A lot of things I've been meaning to talk about on my channel, nothing to do with the legal situation. No, I'm not that kind of person. Talk about in terms of the kind of material I wanted to put out. But because I had concerns, this is how I want to do it, in this peaceful, in this kind of like creative, safe space where I know that this will be respected. Okay. And because of this, it's on another level. It's a different quality kind of recording. And you certainly, absolutely, it's absolutely worth every single penny because like I said, it's mini coaching. It's just mini coaching. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to do anything. 3 times a week, you receive the audios, you listen to them, you keep them. Again, as per the agreement, you just can't, broadcast it anywhere, use it for gain for yourself or anybody else. But provided all that is good, you keep these audios for like forever. 12 audios a month. Are you joking? Do the math. How much is that a year? So again, it will continue going up in price. It's at $99 now. Just secure that price so you can renew it, going forward. I will augment it at some point. Not sure yet when, but I will. Okay, so highly recommend that because I will not go back to putting out new material on my channel as I used to. I'm really sorry. There's so many other audios and videos that I've already produced that are, in some cases people tell me like they prefer my old material. It's okay. But I am cooking something. I'm not going to discuss yet what. I am cooking something special, even though I'm not going to be putting out new material, as I'm channeling it. That's for the book. I will be, compiling a book and then releasing it, and then I will talk about this material. But in the meantime, whilst I'm doing that, since I don't want you to kind of like, feel left behind, I am working on a project that I think that you will really like, but it will be about my teachings. It will be my teachings, but done differently. Let's just say it that way. So subscribe and like so you don't miss that. It will be worth your while. Trust me. I think it's going to be spectacular. I've been thinking about it for quite some time. I think it will be very educational and very entertaining. All right. Thank you very much for watching and showing up for those who did. Until next time. Ciao, ciao. Big kiss.